So we finally have gotten an answer for the Memorial Stone bug that's on JP exclusively. So to go ahead and talk about it, I brought a global player on board. We have Mike.
Hello.
Hello.
Why do we keep getting shafted even after this thing?
Well, you know what? We hate you guys. I'm just kidding. Anyways, if you guys weren't aware, the situation that's happening is that the Memorial Dragonstone 6 was bugged. In a sense, where they accidentally gave out the wrong number of Memorial Dragonstones to a lot of players. So what happened is they stopped giving out the Memorial Dragonstones out. They took the banner down, the ticket exchange, and everything related to the shop was all basically removed just to avoid people from doing any, false exchanges or kind of messing things up with the Memorial Stones because they made a mistake. And things like this happen. It's just like very interesting to see that this happened very quickly after the little coin shenanigan situation that was not too long ago. But hey, it is what it is. So we actually do have an update for this, and again, we're gonna just take a look here and just read it out. So we'll also take a look at some of the replies, of course, just regarding this. But Mike, how do you feel as a global player?
Yeah, like on one hand, it does suck because it would have been nice to just have it where everyone got it, but at the same time, it's only JP players who were affected. But I'm especially sad because a lot of the units that are featured on the actual banner that you would use those on are half either easy or about to easy A. So it's like when a lot of these options are just there, like something like into ROF Blues, who a lot of people think could easy A, We got Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 who could just easy A during any of the superhero celebration that could be coming, right? Stuff like that. It definitely hurts as a global player, but at the same time, it's like, again, we weren't affected, so I understand why it's only JP.
Yeah, exactly. And I've seen some people bring up the point that, like, oh, it sucks as this on global. It's like, yeah, but it's like, oh, so you weren't affected. And then a lot of those people are maybe people who are saying, oh, those who didn't get affected by the last issue shouldn't have gotten compensated, right? So very funny, but we'll go ahead and read this out. This is basically just, I didn't like sit down and actually mega verify this when I did it at first. This is just me taking this post here from the JP Dokkan wiki. It's just, when you translate it like this, it's just super bloated and not well formatted. So I just put it in these images to make it displayed a little better. Essentially what's happening here is they completed their investigation into the issue and provided compensation to the affected users. As a result of our investigation, we have confirmed that some users have not received the Memorial Dragonstone 6 and that some users received fewer Memorial Dragonstones that they should have. In response to this issue, they provided the following compensation. So firstly, to people who did not receive the Memorial Dragonstone 6, you received the correct number that was originally supposed to be distributed, on top of 5 just Dragon Stones as an apology. So no extra Memorial Stones are given to people. This is just 5 Dragon Stones. That's if you did not receive it, which I believe that was more so for people whose IDs were ending on I think it was 7, 8, and 9, because they stopped giving them out after they found out that this issue was occurring. So I seen some people post hey, I did receive my Memorial Stones. I think in fact there is one person in particular that I saw. Let me see here. I can't find. There it is. Giga Janemba is someone that did post that. Makes pretty good art too. But here it is. See, so they got 5 Dragon Stones here, 699 stones because they're basically originally not given their Memorial Dragon Stones. So there you go. Now, to users whose character exchange was not affected by the limited distribution of Memorial Dragonstones 6, we have set the difference between the number of Memorial Dragonstones 6 that were originally distributed and the number of Memorial Dragonstones 6 that were distributed in small quantities, as well as the 5 Dragonstones as an apology for this incident. So again, if you weren't affected by the limited distribution of the Memorial Dragonstone 6, but you received fewer than you should have, what happened is you got the difference back between what you would have. So let's say you got 400, but you were supposed to get 450. You got 50 Memorial Dragonstones back. And then again, 5 Dragonstones as an apology for the incident if you did not receive the actual correct amount. So that's all cool. Then this last point confused a few people, but still not really completely clear. Based on what it's basically reading here, to compensate for the lost opportunity to exchange for characters, we provided a compensation for the number of Memorial Dragonstones that were originally distributed, so that the total number of characters you can be exchanged for is 150 or 200, depending on the total number. And I think that one like got a little weirdly translated, but we can see providing 150 or 200 Memorial Dragonstone 6 if you were impacted by the limited distribution, depending on the number of Memorial Dragonstones that you originally were distributed. And again, that could be read a couple of different ways. I actually talked with Toon Rami about this, and what we think this kind of means is that, let's say you got 180 Memorial Dragonstones, but you were supposed to get like 200 or something, right? And then you spent those 180 Memorial Dragonstones. Essentially, you should have been able to use 200 Memorial Dragonstones if you wanted to get another character, but you're essentially taken away from being able to make that choice because of the fact that you know, you were essentially impacted by the false distribution of that, right? So you didn't have the opportunity to make that specific choice that you were supposed to. What they are doing is they gave you, okay, you were supposed to be able to exchange for 200, so we're giving you essentially enough to exchange for 200 cost character. Or let's say you had 130 Memorial Dragonstones, but you're supposed to get like 170. Well, instead they're giving you just a flat probably 150, so that you are able to exchange a character for 150 that you're supposed to. And again, this looks like it's only for, to me it reads like it's only for people who would be in that specific circumstance. Am I, like, what do you think, Mike? Am I reading it wrong? Because we haven't seen anyone really post about this specifically here.
Yeah, I was just about to talk about it, right? I know that there was a couple of people who originally, when they saw the amount of Dragonstones that they got, they were like, I'm pretty sure this is a little bit lower than what I was supposed to get, so they traded it in just for a TUR because they weren't given the correct amount, right? And I think it is kind of like how you said, where it's for people who might have already traded in for tickets or traded in for a character, even though they were supposed to have enough to be able to trade in for like an LR instead. Because again, I saw a couple people on Twitter who were saying that they already swapped it and weren't even aware of that issue. So to not be able to get some of these characters because of that was pretty frustrating. So I think that is trying to at least again just give compensation for an issue like that.
Yeah, because
personally I haven't seen anyone talk about it though after that part.
I don't think many people were affected by this specifically, because if they gave you just the difference, then what would happen is you still want to have the chance to make that choice to, like, let's say exchange a character for 150 if you had 130. Like, let's say you were supposed to get, again, 160 or something, and even if you get the difference of 30 between what you're supposed to get, you still can't make that choice to get the 150. So they're just rounding up to either one of these two numbers that they're giving you, which is still extra compensation. And even if you weren't going to make that choice, you have the option to make that choice now. So it doesn't seem like there's any compensation that's affecting players that aren't actually affected by this time, which is a better thing, right? So everyone does get 2 stones though, because you were unable to exchange for the treasure during the bugs like kind of time frame. And the distribution began starting from today until the 14th of October, which is a very long time. They also did exchange the actual Dokkan Festival and the exchange shop until the 17th of October for the Dokkan Fest. Funny enough, that's my birthday. And then the 14th of October for the actual Super Appreciation Select. Yeah, so the selection in the Baba Shop is until the 14th, and then the Dokkan Festival banner is until the 17th. This, I wonder if this is like gonna be like a potential banner drop date, October 17th. I remember it really random. LR Bojack came out on October 17th on the JP side, so interesting. Anyways, that's kind of the situation here with the Memorial Dragonstone bug. I feel like they did a pretty good job looking into it, and I think this is pretty good compensation overall. I think everyone affected did actually get compensated in a good way. And again, we see here as an example, this is someone who didn't get their stones. They got 5 stones back. I actually, it turns out I wasn't affected by this specific I wasn't affected by this specific issue. So because of that, I got a total of 308 stones. So again, we could tell, like, for example, even though I wasn't given extra memorial stones because they didn't make any exchange or anything like that, right? So as if you got the correct amount, you don't really get anything besides the 2 stones. I could confirm that for sure. But we could take a look at some of the replies here. So is this coming to Hagobo? No, I don't think so.
Man, I thought it was. Where's my 5 stones?
Yeah, where's my 5 dragon stones, bro? That could be a difference between the multi getting a LR or not, right? For real.
That one single could have just given everyone the new unit except for global.
Yeah, sure. This, we already did discuss this. It was kind of translated a little weird. That's my bad, but global shaft. So they take the exchange down for a week and all you get is 2 stones. You could have link leveled your memorial pools on Dokkan Day, but you didn't get the chance to summon because of work. You're not trying to sound like one of the kids who cries for 300, but really just 2 stones. I think this is fair because it's like, you know, well, I would have used like kind of, I would link leveled everything I would have gotten on Dokkan Day specifically. But since they took the exchange shop down, I wasn't able to kind of summon. But at the same time, they did extend the banner itself. So when was the banner originally supposed to end? In fact, this is a JP only extension.
I could look it up on the global side.
We can check here. So the global banner ends on the 10th. So the banner was originally going to end on the 10th. But now it's extended until the 17th. So you will have an extra Dokkan Day essentially. Like, instead of the Dokkan Day that was this month or this last month on the 30th, it's going to be an extra day in October on the 15th. Which, you know, it's still just an extra Dokkan Day in total when the banners are up. So I guess that's like quote unquote fair. In that kind of sense, right? Because it's like, what are they really gonna do besides just giving you another opportunity to get another Dokkan Day in there during the duration of the banner? Global players getting fucked in the ass again.
People say that, but it's just like we weren't affected. It's so weird that we weren't also affected because it's the same game at the end of the day, right? But at the same time, it's like, again, we weren't, the global side wasn't affected by it, and it's only like 2 stones if you weren't even affected by it on the JP side. So I'm like, no, I'm not crying over 2 stones over there. That's like 2 stamina refreshes. It's not that big of a deal as people are making it out to be. And I would think if I was like a JP player and something like that had happened, like how we were talking about before, if you exchanged a character and then you were like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't get the stones that I was supposed to receive, I would think the frustration is more going to be on their end, and you should be compensated for something like that than being like, well, actually, I think it should be synced. It's like, no, it's not something that we had to deal with the frustration for. So it's not that big of a deal, in my opinion.
Yeah, some of these replies are very interesting, but you know, at the end of the day, I can't really speak on how global players feels. I'm not a global player. this banner is definitely, I mean, there's some interesting options. You can wait until the end of the celebration. Who knows what like part 2 is going to be. I assume part 2 is going to be at least on the part 1 character's leader skill. So we'll see. I mean, it would be really funny if it's something completely different. You know, at this point, I'm hoping for a final form cooler. Like, it's really random. I think a cooler that transforms into final form cooler would be awesome. Such a random thing to bring up here, but yeah, so that's kind of the situation at hand here. Anything else you'd like to add, Mike? Or I think that's pretty much it, honestly. Not much really to talk about from here.
I actually changed my entire opinion. I think that I should just me specifically should get 2 stones.
All right,
because of having
I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Y'all take care. Peace out, guys.